So dear students, today we are going to learn conic section. I hope you have seen the video that I posted in the group and requested you or asked you to watch that video. So I hope you have watched that video, and from the video you have learned that this is a double cone. This angle is known as the vertex angle, and when a plane cuts a double cone, that is known as a conic section. Okay, when a plane cuts a cone, we get a conic section, and that conic section may be an ellipse, a parabola, a hyperbola, or in special cases maybe a circle, a point, a straight line, or a pair of straight line. So let's see what happens when. So if the plane cuts the cone at an angle theta, at an angle beta, which is greater than theta but less than 90, then the conic section is an ellipse. So we have got that in the three-dimensional video. If this theta becomes 90 degree, then that conic section becomes a circle. If theta is equal to beta, of course one thing, the cross section should be somewhere but not at V, that means at the vertex, not at this point, other than this point, anywhere it may be. If beta is equal to theta, then the conic section is a parabola. If beta greater than or equal to 0 and less than theta, then the conic section is a hyperbola. Again, if we cut a cross section here at the vertex such that beta is greater than theta less than or equal to 90 degree, then the conic section is a point. It becomes a straight line when we cut at the vertex if beta is equal to theta, and this is known as a degenerate parabola. This is a special case of a parabola. And when we cut at the vertex with an angle beta such that 0 less than or equal to beta less than theta, then the cross section becomes a straight line, pair of straight line, which is a degenerate case of hyperbola. Okay, so I hope you have learned all these things from the video. Okay, this is the physical discussion of conic section, which is known in briefly we call it a conic. Now we will discuss the geometrical aspect of this. We will discuss from the point of view of locus. Every card is a locus of such point, locus of a point which moves obeying some geometrical condition or conditions. We know this. So, how does a moving point draws a conic? Suppose there is a fixed straight line. Okay, this is a fixed straight line. Let it be AB. This is a fixed straight line. Okay, and there is a fixed point. Say F. Okay, S. Focus. Let it be S. Suppose there is a point moving in the two-dimensional space in such a way, moving in the two-dimensional space. Okay. Let it be P. Okay. The point, this P is a moving point. Now, if the point moves in such a way that the ratio of its distance from the fixed point to its distance from the fixed straight line is always a constant. What I am saying is PS by PM is always a constant. Is always a constant. Then the locus of the point is a conic or conic section. Okay? Then the point draws a conic or a conic section. So what is this? If a point moves on a plane, I am saying the definition, you may write it. If a point moves on a plane in such a way that the ratio of its distance from a fixed point to its distance from a fixed straight line on the plane is always a constant, then the locus of the point is called a conic or a conic section. Now this fixed point is called focus of the conic. This fixed straight line is called the directrix. Okay, and the constant ratio is known as the eccentricity. Is known as the eccentricity of the conic. Okay. So focus, directrix, eccentricity. The fixed point on the plane is known as focus. The fixed straight line on the plane is known as directrix, and the constant ratio of PS by PM is known as the eccentricity. Now, depending on eccentricity, there are three types of conics. How is this? If the eccentricity is generally denoted by small letter e. If the eccentricity e is equal to 1, then the conic section is a parabola. If e is equal to 1, that means eccentricity is equal to 1, then the conic section is a parabola. If e less than 1, then the conic section is an ellipse. Depending upon the eccentricity, there are three types of conics. If e greater than 1, then the conic section is a hyperbola. Okay, so there are three types of conics. Now, what is about circle, point? Circle and points are special cases of ellipse. Degenerate cases are this. Point is a degenerate case, and circle is a special case. E is equal to 1. Parabola, straight line is a degenerate case of parabola. Pair of straight lines is a degenerate case of hyperbola. Okay, so basically there are three types of conics: ellipse, parabola, and hyperbola. Now we'll discuss about the general equation of a conic. Suppose the fixed point be hk, coordinates of the fixed point be hk, and the moving point we always take as xy, and the directrix, that will be the general equation of straight line, ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. Equation of the directrix. Now what is our position? PS by PM is equal to E. We start from this. PS by PM is equal to E. Okay. Now what is PS? PS is the distance between P and S. Or else we can write PS is equal to EPM, the on squaring, PS square is equal to E square PM square. Now what is PS square? PS is the distance between P and S, so it can be written as x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to E square into PM, PM square. What is PM? PM is the distance of the straight line ax plus by plus c is equal to 0 from the point xy. So it will be, you know the formula, ax plus by plus c divided by root over a square plus b square whole square. Okay. So on squaring, modulus goes off a square plus b square into x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to E square into ax plus by plus c whole square. So this is the general equation of conic. On simplification, this may take the structure like this: ax square plus twice h xy plus by square plus gx plus twice fy plus c is equal to 0. So this is known as the general equation of straight line, and this structure comes on simplifying this equation. Okay, so this is the structure of general equation of a conic. Okay, that's all about the general equation of a conic. Now we will start from parabola. So what is our parabola? A parabola is a conic whose eccentricity is 1. Whose eccentricity is 1. Parabola is a conic whose eccentricity is. So before starting parabola, let us discuss something about circle. So we know that circle is also a conic section. It's a special case of ellipse. Okay. We will discuss later on how it is a special case of ellipse when we discuss ellipse. Okay. Now what is a circle? When a point moves on a plane in such a way that its distance from a fixed point is always a constant, then the locus of the point is called a circle. Suppose that fixed point is called the center of the circle, and that fixed distance is called the radius of the circle. That we all know. Now, first of all, we will find the standard equation of a circle. Standard equation of a circle. Standard equation of a circle. So let CHK be the center and R be the radius of the circle. Radius of the circle. Let Pxy be any point on the circle. Any point on the circle. Therefore, Cp is equal to R. This implies Cp square is equal to R square. Now, what is Cp? Cp is the distance between C and P, and so Cp square will be x minus h whole square from distance formula plus y minus k whole square is equal to R square. And this is the standard equation of a circle. Any equation in this form represents a circle. Suppose, so this is the standard equation of a circle. Suppose we have an equation x plus 2 whole square plus y minus 4 whole square is equal to 25. Okay, then this equation must represent a circle. What is this center? You compare just with this. These hk are the coordinates of the center of the circle. So here what will be h? X minus minus 2. So x coordinate of the center will be minus 2 and y minus k. K is 4. So minus 2, 4 is the center of the circle. And what is radius? 25 means 5 square. So radius of the circle is 5. Okay. So this is the standard equation of a circle. By comparing with this, we can say that what is the center of the circle and what is the radius of the circle. Now let's see what happens if the center becomes the origin. If the center is the origin. If the center is the origin, then the equation of the circle will be x minus 0 whole square plus y minus 0 whole square is equal to R square. This implies x square plus y square is equal to R square. So equation of a circle with center as origin is x square plus y square is equal to R square. Okay. So if equation of a circle is given in standard form, we can find the center and radius just by compare with the standard equation of circle. And equation of a circle with center as origin is x square plus y square is equal to R square, where R is the radius of the circle. Next, we'll find equation of a circle endpoints of whose diameters are given. That is, we are to find the equation of a circle in terms of endpoints of its diameter. Suppose we are given a circle endpoints of whose diameters are a x1, y1, b x2, y2. That means AB is the diameter of the circle. To find equation, we always take an arbitrary point or moving point on the circle. Let Pxy be any point on the circle. So we write it this way. Let ax1, y1 and bx2, y2 be the endpoints of the diameter of the circle. let Pxy be any point on the circle. Now, the angle APB is the angle on the semicircle, so it's a right angle. Now, angle APB is equal to 90. That means AP is perpendicular to B. Therefore, gradient of AP, we denote it by APM, into gradient of BP, we denote it by BPM, is equal to -1. We know that if two straight lines are perpendicular, then product of their gradient is -1. Now, what is the gradient of AP? A and P. That is, we have to find the gradient of a line joining two points. What is the formula? Y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So it will be y minus y1 divided by x minus x1. Similarly, gradient of BP will be y minus y2 divided by x minus x2 is equal to -1. This implies y minus y1 into y minus y2 is equal to minus of x minus x1 into x minus x2. This implies x minus x1 into x minus x2 plus y minus y1 into y minus y2. So this is the equation of a circle, endpoints of whose diameters are x1, y1 and x2, y2. Suppose in a question we are given that the endpoints of diameter of a circle are -1, 3 and -5, say 6. Okay. You are asked to find the, or 5, 6. Okay. You are asked to find the equation of the circle. So what will be the equation of the circle? Here is the equation x minus x1 into x minus x2 plus y minus y1 into y minus y2. What is x1 here? x1 is -1, y1 is 3, x2 is 5, y2 is 6. So equation will be x minus x1 minus minus plus, x1 is -1 into x minus x2, x2 is 5 plus y minus y1 3 into y minus y2, y2 is 6 whole square. So sorry, not square is that. Y minus 6 equal to 0. So this will be the equation of the circle. So if endpoints of the diameters are given, we can find the equation of the circle. Okay. Next, we will discuss general equation of circle. Though this is not in your syllabus exactly, but I think it will be helpful if you know this general equation of circle. So any equation of the form, or like an equation of the form x square plus y square plus twice gx plus twice fy plus c is equal to 0 represents a circle. But there is a condition: if g square plus f square is greater than or equal to c. Okay. So an equation of this form represents a circle. And this equation is known as the general equation of circle. Equation is known as the general equation of a circle. This equation is known as the general equation of a circle. Okay. Now, here we have made a claim that any equation of this form represents a circle. Let us prove it. So what is the equation? X square plus y square plus twice gx plus twice fy plus c is equal to g. Let us rearrange it. X square plus twice gx plus g square. There is no g square, we have added this one here. Plus y square plus twice fy plus f square. We have taken g square, f square in extra is equal to, this c is brought to that side, minus c. Now we have added g square plus f square on left hand side. So to balance, we will add g square plus f square on the right hand side also. Okay. Now this takes the form x plus g whole square plus y plus f whole square is equal to root over g square plus f square minus c whole square. This implies x minus g whole square plus y minus f whole square is equal to under root g square plus f square minus c whole square. Now if we compare this equation with the standard equation of the circle, which is x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to r square. And we know in standard form hk is the center and r is the radius. If you compare these two equations, you will find that this equation is of this structure. X minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to r square. Same form. So comparing, we find that the center of this general equation is minus g minus f and radius is root over g square plus f square minus c. So the center is minus g minus f and the radius is under root g square plus f square minus c. Okay. Now here I have put a condition g square plus f square greater than equal to c. Why is this? See here, if g square plus f square is less than c, then g square plus f square minus c will be a negative quantity, and square root of a negative quantity is not a real number. Square root of a negative quantity is not a real number. Then there will not be any real existence of the circle. That's why g square plus f square must be greater than or equal to c. Okay. Now as we know, the general equation of circle is x square plus y square plus twice gx plus twice fy plus c is equal to 0. And if the equation is in this form, then the center of the circle is minus g minus f and the radius of the circle is g square plus f square minus c. Let us take an example. Suppose we are given an equation which is x square plus y square plus 6x minus 8y plus 9 is equal to 0. If we compare these two equations, this equation with the general equation, we find that here g is equal to 3, f is equal to minus 4 and c is equal to 9. So what will be the center of the circle? So center of the circle is minus g minus f. So minus 3, 4. And what is the radius of the circle? Radius is root over g square plus f square minus c. Okay. This is equal to 9 plus 16 minus 9, that is equal to root 16 is equal to 4 units. So radius of the circle will be 4 units. So even if the equation is given in this form, we can find the center and radius directly if we know the general form of the circle. Okay, if we know that the general equation of the circle. So this is the use of general equation of a circle. Now we will solve some examples. So our first question is, find the equation of a circle which passes through the points 2, minus 2 and 3, 4 and whose center lies on the line x plus y is equal to 2. You can solve this question by using both the general form and the standard form. Let us try with the standard form. So we consider the equation of the circle in standard form. Let the equation of the circle be will be x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to r square. Okay. First of all, we will use these 2 points since the circle passes through the points 2 minus 2 and 3 4. Therefore, the circle passes through these points, so the points lies on the circle, so these points will satisfy the equation of the circle. So putting these points 2 minus h, 2 minus 2, so x is 2, y is minus 2, whole square plus minus 2 minus k whole square is equal to r square. On simplification, this will be 2 minus h whole square plus 2 plus k whole square is equal to r square. So this is the first equation. Again, it passes through the point 3 4, so their end will get 3 minus h whole square plus 3 4, 4 minus k whole square is equal to r square. Okay. So this is our equation number 2. Okay. Subtracting one from the other, say anything. So 1 minus 2. 1 minus 2 implies 2 minus h whole square minus 3 minus h whole square plus 2 plus k whole square minus 4 minus k whole square is equal to 0. Okay. On simplification, this becomes h square will be cancelled. Here will be minus 4h twice a b minus 4h plus 4 minus 9 minus 6h plus 4 plus 4k minus 16 minus 8k is equal to 0. So h square cancel, k square cancel. So minus 4h plus 6h, this implies twice h. 4k plus 8k, that means 12k. Then 4 minus 9 minus 5, 4 plus 4 8, and minus 9 minus 16 is 25. So 8 minus 25 is minus 70 is equal to 0. This implies twice h plus 12k is equal to 70. Suppose this is equation number 3. Also, center lies on the line x plus y is equal to 2. What is center? Center is the point hk in our equation, in the considered equation. So hk will satisfy the equation of this line. Therefore, we will get h plus k is equal to 2. H plus k is equal to 2. Suppose this is equation number 4. Now we will solve 3 and 4 to find h and k. Okay. So what will you do? 3 minus 4 into twice h. Okay. That twice h minus 4h plus 6h. 4k plus 8k, 12k. All right. So 4 into 2. This will become twice h implies. So on multiplying with 2, this will be twice h plus twice k is equal to 4. So twice h will be cancelled. 12k minus 4k, that means 8k will be there. 8k. 17 minus 8 is equal to 9. This implies k is equal to 9 by 8. K is equal to 9 by 8. On putting k here, we get from equation number 4, h plus 9 by 8 is equal to 2. Okay. This implies h is equal to 2 minus 9 by 8. That is equal to 16 minus 9, that is 7 by 8. Okay. So a bit correction is required here. So this will be 4 into 2. 4 into 2 becomes twice h plus twice k is equal to 4. Now twice h minus twice h, 0. 12k minus 2k is 10k, and 17 minus 4. 17 minus 4 is 13. So k will be 13 by 10. H plus 13 by 10. 13 by 10. So this will be 7 by 10. So our h is 7 by 10 and k is 13 by 10. Now we will find the value of r by putting in any one of 1 or 2. So let us put these values of h and k in, say, equation number 1. So equation 1 implies, on putting the values of h and k, 2 minus h. H means what? 7 by 10 whole square plus 2 plus k, that is 2 plus, what is k? 13 by 10 whole square is equal to r square. This implies r square is equal to 20 minus 7 is 13 by 10 whole square plus 33 by 10 whole square. So this is the value of r here. We will simplify it. So r square is equal to 13 square plus 33 square. So r square is equal to 13 square plus 33 square by 10 square, there is 100. Now 13 square is 169 and 33 square is 1089 divided by 100. This is equal to, on adding, 1248 by 100. So this is the value of r square. Therefore, required on putting the value of hk in the considered equation x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to r square. That was taken as the equation of the circle. Now we put the value of h, k and r there. Therefore, required equation of the circle is x minus h. What is h? 7 by 10 whole square plus y minus k 13 by 10 whole square is equal to r square 1248 by 100. On simplification, this will become 10x minus 7 whole square plus 10y minus 13 whole square is equal to 1248. And this is the required equation of the circle. Okay. So next question is, the equations of two diameters of a circle are x plus y equal to 6 and x plus twice y is equal to 4. If its radius be 10 units, find the equation of the circle. Now, what is the relation between diameters and center? We know that the point of intersection of two diameters is the center of the circle. Point of intersection of two diameters is the center of the circle. So, if we find the point of intersection of these two lines, that will give the center of the circle. Now, if we know the center and the radius, we can easily find the equation of the circle. So, point of intersection of point of intersection of two diameters is the center of the circle. Is the center of the circle. Now, point of intersection of the diameters x plus y is equal to 10 and x plus twice y is equal to 4 is, on solving you get subtracting y equal to minus 6, so minus 6, on putting y is equal to minus 6, x is equal to 16, so this is 16 minus 6, okay, which is the center of the circle, which is the center of the circle. Now we know that the center and the radius, therefore equation of the circle is what is this? X minus h. What is x here? H here 16. So this is hk. H is 16, k is minus 6. X minus h whole square plus y minus minus plus 6 whole square is equal to r square. What is r? R is 10. 10 square. Okay. So required equation of the circle is x minus 16 whole square plus y plus 6 whole square is equal to 100. Okay. So next question is, find the equation of the circle whose radius is 4 and which is concentric with the circle, this x square plus y square plus twice x minus 6y equal to 0. Concentric means, the word concentric means having the same center. That means we have to find the equation of the circle which has the same center as this circle, given circle, and whose radius is 4 units. So we will start from this equation. Equation of the given circle is x square plus y square plus twice x minus 6y equal to 0. Let us arrange this in the form of standard equation. This implies x square plus twice x plus y square minus 6y equal to 0. This implies x square plus twice x plus 1 whole square, plus 1 plus y square minus 6y plus 9 is equal to 1 plus 9. Okay. This implies x plus 1 whole square plus y minus 3 whole square is equal to 10. Okay, you get it? I have added 1 and 9 just to make these quantities complete square. Okay, and 1 and 9 are also added on the right hand side, so as to balance the equation. Okay, thus the equation of the circle becomes in standard form x plus 1 whole square plus y minus 3 whole square is equal to 10. As this our required circle, as the required circle has the same center as this circle, so this part will be same, and just the radius part, this is the radius part we know, and thus the radius part will change according to the radius of the circle. Therefore equation of the circle concentric with the given circle circle and having radius 4 units is x plus 1, the center part will not be changed, these are centers, minus 1 3, x plus 1 whole square plus y minus 3 whole square is equal to 4 square. This implies x plus 1 whole square plus y minus 3 whole square is equal to 16. So this is the required equation of the circle. Okay. Next question. Find the equation of the circle. Find the equation of the circle which passes through the points 1, 0, 0, 1 and 2, 1. Also find the center and radius of the circle. Okay, if we can find the equation of the circle, we can easily find the center and radius. So we are to find the equation of a circle passing through 3 given points. We are going to discuss how to find the equation of a circle passing through 3 given points. So it is always better to start with the general equation. It is easy to solve such type of equations with the help of general equation. So let us start with the general equation. Consider the equation of the circle as this. Let the equation of the circle be x square plus y square plus twice gx plus twice fy plus c is equal to 0. Okay. Then since the circle passes through the points, what are the points? 1, 0, 0, 1 and 2, 1. Therefore, from 1, 0, putting x equal to 1, y is equal to 0, this is going to be 1 plus twice g plus c is equal to 0. Then 0, 1, x is 0, y is 1, so 1 plus twice f plus c is equal to 0. So 1, 0, putting x equal to 1, y is equal to 0, we get 1 plus twice g plus c. Then for next point is 0, 1, putting x equal to 0, y is equal to 1, we get 1 plus twice f plus c is equal to 0. Then 2, 1, putting x equal to 2, y is equal to 1, we get 5 plus x is 2, so this will be 4g. Y is 1, so twice f plus c is equal to 0. Okay, so these are the 3 equations. Let us mark these equations by 1, 2 and 3. Okay, now 2 minus 1 implies twice f minus twice g is equal to 0, which implies f is equal to g. Mark this by question number 4. Again 3 minus 1 will imply 4 plus 4g is equal to 0. 4 plus 4g, twice of will be cancelled, cc will be cancelled. This implies g is equal to minus 1. Now putting this value of g, f and c in any one of these equations, say equation number 1 implies 1 plus 2 into minus 1 value of g plus c is equal to 0. This implies c is equal to 1. Thus we get g is equal to minus 1, f is equal to c is equal to 1. Therefore here we write f is equal to g is equal to minus 1. Okay, now f is minus 1, g is minus 1 and c is 1. Putting these values here, we get the equation of the circle. Therefore, required equation of the circle is, just put the value of GFC here, x square plus y square. What is the value of G? Minus 1. So this will be minus twice x. What is the value of F? Minus 1 minus twice y plus C. C is 1 is equal to 0. Okay. Now to find the center and the radius, you can arrange it in standard form, or else minus G minus F. From that you can find. We know that the center of the equation of circle in general form is minus G minus F. So it will be 1 1, and the radius is root over d square plus f square minus C. From this you can find, or else you can arrange it in standard form. So x square minus twice x plus y square minus twice y is equal to minus 1. This implies x square minus twice x plus 1 plus y square minus twice y plus 1 is equal to, this 1 1 are adjusted here. This implies x minus 1 whole square plus y minus 1 whole square is equal to 1. Therefore center, we are asked to find the center and radius. Therefore the center is 1 1, and radius, here it is r square, that means radius is equal to 1 inch. Thus we get the answer to the question. So our next question is, find the equation of a circle of radius a in the first quadrant which touches both the axes. Okay. So there is a circle whose radius is a and which touches both the axes. We have to find the equation of the circle. Okay. So we start from the general equation, standard equation. Let the equation of the circle be x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to r square. Okay. Now the circle lies in the first quadrant, so h and k have positive values. Since the circle lies in the first quadrant, therefore h is greater than 0, k is greater than 0. Okay. Now we see that what is h? This is the point hk, and this distance is h. From figure, h is equal to a, k is equal to a, because radius of the circle is given to be a here, and since the circle touches x-axis, so a is equal to k, and since the circle touches y-axis, h is equal to a. So why is this? We write here, since the circle touches x-axis and y-axis. That is why h is equal to a, k is equal to a. Okay. Also, r is equal to a. Okay. Therefore, equation of the circle is why is this? Because this is given. Therefore, equation of the circle is x minus h whole square, h is a, plus y minus k, k is also a, whole square is equal to s square. Okay. So this is the answer. So our next question is, find the equation of two circles whose center lies on the y-axis at a distance 6 units from origin, and which passes through the point 1 1, and which passes through the point 1 1. So center lies on y-axis. Center lies on y-axis. That means x coordinate of the center is 0. Okay, and it lies on y-axis at a distance 6 units from origin. Suppose this is the center, this is the y-axis. Okay, now center lies on y-axis, its x-coordinate is 0 at a distance 6 units from origin. If the origin is above the circle, then the y-coordinate will be -6. Again, if the origin is below the circle, then this will be positive and the y-coordinate will be 6. So center of the circle is 0, 6 or 0, -6. Do you get it? 6 units, so this is the y-coordinate and it's below x-axis, so it will be negative. So in that case the center will be 0, -6. Again, if the center lies below the circle, or if the circle lies above the origin, if the circle lies above the origin, that means x-axis, then its y-coordinate will be +6, since it is at a distance 6 units from origin. Okay, so center of the circle is either +6, 0 +6 or 0 -6. Now it passes through the point 1. So we will use these two conditions. First of all, let us consider the circle. Let the equation of the circle be x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to r square. Okay, since the circle passes through 1, 1, therefore 1, 1 will satisfy the equation of the circle, and thus we will get 1 minus h whole square plus 1 minus k whole square is equal to r square. Okay, now the center lies on y-axis at a distance 6 units from origin. So the center is 0, 6 or 0, -6. Okay, if the center is 0, 6, that means h is equal to 0, k is equal to 6, then 1 implies 1 minus 0 whole square plus 1 minus 6 whole square is equal to r square. So r square is going to be 26. This implies r square is equal to 26. So in this case, equation of the circle is, therefore equation of the circle is what will be that? X minus h means 0 plus y minus k means 6 whole square is equal to 25. Okay, that means x square plus y minus 6 whole square is equal to 25. Sorry, 26. R square is 26. Again, if the center is 0, -6, 0, -6, then h is equal to 0, k is equal to -6. 1 implies 1 minus 0 whole square plus 1 plus 6 whole square minus minus will be plus is equal to r square. This implies r square is equal to 50. Okay. Therefore, in this case, equation of the circle is equation of the circle is x minus h. What is h here? 0 whole square plus y minus k. What is k here? Minus 6 is equal to r square. R square is 50. This implies x square plus y plus 6 whole square is equal to 50. So this is going to be the two equations of the circles. Next we are going to discuss a note here. The general equation of second degree. A general equation in second degree is of the form ax square plus by square plus twice h xy plus twice gx plus twice fy plus c is equal to 0. That means there may be x square term, y square term, xy term, terms with x, terms with y, and a constant term. Such equation is known as a general equation of second degree. So we are going to discuss under what conditions the general equation of second degree may represent a circle. So here is the theory: represents a circle if a is equal to b, h is equal to 0, g square plus f square greater than equal to c. Why? If we compare this with the general equation of circle, you see in general equation of circle there is no xy term. An equation of a circle cannot contain the xy term. So this xy term must vanish. So as to vanish this term, the value of h should be 0. That is the condition number 2. In the general equation of circle, you see that the coefficient of x square is 1, the coefficient of y square is 1. That means coefficients of x square and y square must be equal. So a is equal to b. And this condition is also valid for the general equation of a circle: g square plus f square minus c greater than equal to 0, and that condition also holds here. So if the even equation of this form, that is the general equation of second degree, satisfies these three conditions, then it may represent a circle. Let us verify. We have to verify whether this equation represents a circle. Yes, a is equal to b. There is no xy term. Then g square plus f square minus c should be greater than equal to 0. G square is a positive term, f square is a positive term, and minus c, if c is negative, then minus c is positive. So g square plus f square minus c will be a positive term, and so this will represent a circle. What is about this equation? Here you see what is g. Here c is positive. You must have to verify g square plus f square minus. Here g is minus 2, f is 0. Okay, g is minus 2, comparing f is 0. So g square plus f square minus c is equal to minus 1 less than 0. So this equation cannot represent a circle. What is about the third equation? In the third equation you see a is not equal to b, so it cannot represent a circle. What is the fifth equation? You see here is a xy term, so this equation cannot represent a circle. What is about this equation? Here a is equal to b, okay, and c is negative, so g square plus f square minus c will be a positive term, so this may represent a circle. Okay, now the homework time from class book, page 242, example number 4, exercise 13, question number 1, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, and from NCERT book you are to solve the exercise 11.1. Thank you. Next video we will discuss about parabola. So goodbye until then.